Great. Thanks a lot, Mike. Well, I want to talk about one more thing about STC before I move on, and that's integration. Now, if any of you have worked with web services before, you know that there are a lot of different types and a lot of different formats, and integrating is not always easy. To help with that, something that we've done is we've worked with a number of enterprise partners to create connectors for STC that make it easy to work with the enterprise software packages that you already have. There are already 50 connectors available. And if there's an enterprise software package you're using that doesn't have a connector, we have another set of partners who are eager to help out, can help you create a solution. Now, let's recap about what I've already talked about this evening really briefly. I've talked about some major features for App Engine. One, we have the ability to purchase additional resources. We talked about the cron support for App Engine. We talked about the ability to import large amounts of data and the ability to access data behind the firewall. Now, we think all of these things together make App Engine a more viable platform for more developers and more people who are building applications. But we still have a promise to keep to you. When I was here last year, 1 year to this day, I promised that Python was just the first language for App Engine, the first runtime language that we would support. Thus, tonight, I'm really excited to announce our early look at Java language support for App Engine. Now, what's up with the early look? You guys might be wondering. Now, the reason for the early look is that we feel that the support we're launching right now is not yet complete. We've got a lot of details that we need to work out and things that we need to make run a little more smoothly. Particularly, due to the nature of the environment, we know a lot of software that you're used to and a lot of frameworks you've used before may need some slight adjustments to work properly on App Engine. Thus, we want to learn what those things are and get your help to fix them so that we can make App Engine work better for you and for everyone else. So that's why we're giving you this early access to the product, to get that feedback and get the product on track. Now, with all of that said, I think what we're launching to you tonight is pretty impressive. For the first time, we're giving you an end-to-end solution, a Java runtime for App Engine, an Eclipse plugin for the Eclipse IDE, and integrated Google Web Toolkit support for your UI. Altogether, this allows you to build a client and a server together in one integrated development experience using a single language and a single seamless application that you create. We think that's pretty cool. So tonight, for the rest of the night, I'm going to take you through our early look at Java support for App Engine. I'm going to take you through initially a demonstration that we built using the guestbook, an application that allows you to quickly enter some stuff. Andrew is going to take you through that demo and how we built the guestbook app. Then I'm also going to bring on some partners who have built some real-world apps using App Engine, Google Web Toolkit, and other things so that you can see how this can be, you could use this yourself to accomplish some other things. But to get started, let me take you through the Java runtime support for App Engine. Now, our Java runtime support for App Engine allows you to utilize all the APIs that you already have available on App Engine. That includes things like our scalable data store, which is based on Bigtable, not SQL, things like Memcache, our serving architecture, and also all the existing management tools you've been using, such as our administration console, the billing support I mentioned earlier, and all of that. It makes it easy for you to build and deploy web applications. But there's something that I think is particularly interesting about our Java support. We built our Java support around servlets and the web.xml standard. These are the standard ways of building web apps in Java. So what that means for you is if you've ever built a web app in Java before, you probably already know how to build a web app for Google App Engine. It's the same thing you're used to, written in the same way. Now, the other major detail about our Java runtime support for App Engine is that it is a full Java 1.6 JVM. Now, what does that mean? It means two important things. One, it means that we're running bytecode on the server, not your source code. You only send us your compiled application. Two, it means that because we're running bytecode, App Engine's Java runtime support can run other languages that compile to Java bytecode, things like JavaScript, Ruby, Groovy, and other projects. Now, I should make it clear, just because we can run those languages in the Java runtime support doesn't mean that your applications written in those languages will just work automatically. There's still a lot of work to be done with integration to make sure everything runs smoothly. Particularly with our serving infrastructure and our security infrastructure on App Engine, many frameworks will need to be adjusted slightly. We also have a whitelist of JRE classes that are available, which may sometimes result in changes. However, that's why we're launching this early to you now, so we can get your help in making sure everything does work smoothly on App Engine. Now, our overall goal with our end-to-end Java support is to give you tools that complement your existing workflow, how you already build applications. And one thing we know about a lot of Java developers is that you use IDEs to get these applications built. So as I mentioned earlier, that's why I'm excited tonight to announce the Google plugin for Eclipse. The Google plugin for Eclipse integrates every step of application development, from creating and managing a project, to doing local testing and debugging, and to finally deploying to App Engine. It even integrates using Google Web Toolkit to create your front-end UI, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Now, we think this is great for productivity. You're programming just in one language, in one familiar IDE that you're already comfortable with. And because App Engine is always be free to get started, it means that anyone can download this SDK and start building an application right away. Now, I want you to know one other thing, though. Although we are launching the Google plugin for Eclipse, we're in no way tied to this Eclipse support. We're also providing you with robust standalone tools that you can use to build applications. And that means that you can work with other IDEs like IntelliJ or Visual Studio, or you can work with tools on the command line. Now, one more aspect about our Java support for App Engine that I'm particularly excited about is our support for standards. Our Java support for App Engine is 100% standards-based. Now, what does that mean? That means two key things. One, it means that if you choose, you can build an application on our early look at Java support for App Engine that does not use a single proprietary API. Through these standards for everything that we do, including specifying your web application, for accessing HTTP resources, and even for working with our data store, which is based on Bigtable, there is a standard that you can use backed by a JSR and Sun for building your application. For our data store in particular, we're supporting the Java Persistence API and the Java Data Object standards. And that means that if you build an application with these standard APIs, your same application can work with Bigtable and a SQL server easily. Now, the second detail about our standard support is that if you choose to build your application to all of these standards, it makes it easy for you to run your application elsewhere, because these same standard APIs work in nearly any other servlet container. That means that you can build an application on App Engine, and without changing a line of code or making any significant modifications, you can run that application on-premise, behind your firewall. You're not locked in to using our cloud. So with that, if you're like me, you're probably itching to actually see a demo of this and see how it all works. So for that, I'd like to call up Andrew Bowers, a product manager at Google, and he's going to step you through creating that guestbook application using our Eclipse integration and App Engine. Thank you, Andrew.